ఈరోజు మనం కాంపౌండ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ గురించి మనం మాట్లాడుకుంటాం. సో కాంపౌండ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ మనకు ఫస్ట్ తెలియాలంటే మనకు ఫస్ట్ రేట్ తెలియాలి. రేట్. ఇఫ్ సమ్మన్ సేస్ రేట్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఈజ్ 8% per annum. రేట్ ఆఫ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ యాక్చువల్లీ ఇది రేట్ ఆఫ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఈజ్ 8% annum అంటే దాని మీనింగ్ ఏంటంటే 100 రూపాయలకి నాకు 8 రూపాయలు వస్తుందని అర్థం. పర్సెంట్ అంటే ఏంది? పర్సెంట్ 100 రూపాయలకి. సో 100 రూపాయలకి నాకు 8 రూపాయలు లాభం వస్తుంది. ఓకేనా? సో ఇప్పుడు నాకు టోటల్ ఎంత వస్తుంది? నా 100 రూపాయలు నాకు వస్తుంది ప్లస్ 8 రూపాయలు లాభం వస్తుంది. 100 + 8 అప్పుడు నాకు టోటల్ 108 అవుద్ది. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద ఫార్ములా. A is equals to principal plus SI. A is equals to principal plus CI. Okay, now we'll do one problem based on this thing. Calculate the interest and amount for 350 rupees at the rate of 5% for 2 years అన్నాడు. సో మనకి రేటు 5% అన్నాడు. ఓకేనా? రేటు 5% అన్నాడు అంటే 100 రూపీస్కి 5 రూపీస్ అని. కానీ వాడు మనకి 100 రూపీస్ అని చెప్పలేదు, 350 అన్నాడు. సో మనకి డినామినేటర్లో 350 రావాలి. సో అందుకని మనం ఇంటూ 350/100 చేస్తాం కింద. సో కింద చేస్తే పైన కూడా చేయాలి కాబట్టి పైన కూడా చేస్తాం. సో ఇక్కడ మనకి 35/2 అంటే సంవత్సరానికి 350కి నాకు 17.5 రూపీస్ నాకు వడ్డీ వస్తుంది. కానీ వాడు ఏమడిగాడు? 2 సంవత్సరాలకు అడిగాడు. సో ఇంటూ 2 కానీ చేసామంటే 35 అంటే 350కి 2 సంవత్సరాలకి నాకు 35 రూపాయలు వస్తుందని అర్థం. సో దీన్నే మనం ఫార్ములా ఉపయోగించి కూడా మనం చేయొచ్చు. SI ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్స్ టు PRT/100. ఇది కూడా చేసినా అదే వస్తుంది. 35/350 × 5 × 2/100 దట్ ఈస్ ఈక్వల్స్ టు 35. అమౌంట్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్స్ టు 350 + 35 అంటే 385. లేదా మనం ఏం లేకుండా కూడా డైరెక్ట్గా ఇక్కడే చేసేయచ్చు. ఎలా? సో 2 ఇయర్స్ అన్నాడు కాబట్టి టోటల్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఎంత అవుద్ది? 5 + 5 10%. అంటే వాడికి 350 మీద 10% లాభం. అంటే 350 × 110/100 = 385. ఓకే. సో మనం ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకుందాం. P ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్స్ టు 100, R ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్స్ టు 10. ఓకేనా? సో 100 ఒక సంవత్సరానికి ఎంత లాభం వస్తుంది? 10 రూపాయలు వస్తుంది 10% లెక్కన. ఓకే, 110. రెండో సంవత్సరం దీని మీద మళ్ళా 10 రూపాయలు పడుతుంది, 120. మూడో సంవత్సరం మళ్ళీ దీని మీద ఇంకో 10 రూపాయలు పడుతుంది, 130. ఫోర్త్ ఇయర్ 140. ఓకేనా? సో ఇందాక చేసిన విధంగా మనకి ఇక్కడ టోటల్ లాభం ఎంత? 110% అంటే 100 × 110%. 2 ఇయర్స్కి 100 × 120%. 3 ఇయర్స్కి 100 × 130%. 4 ఇయర్స్కి 100 × 140%. ఓకే. సో దీని మీద మనం కానీ ఇంకో కానీ ప్రాబ్లం చేస్తే ఫైండ్ ద ప్రిన్సిపల్ ఇఫ్ SI ఫర్ 3 ఇయర్స్ అట్ ది రేట్ ఆఫ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ 10% per annum 3 ఈజ్ 150 అన్నాడు. అంటే SI వాల్యూ ఇచ్చాడు. SI ఫర్ 3 ఇయర్స్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్స్ టు 150. అంటే 3 ఇయర్స్కి SI అంటే సంవత్సరానికి 10%, 2 సంవత్సరాలకి 20%, 3 సంవత్సరాలకి 30%. అంటే ఆ 30% వాల్యూ మనకి 150 అన్నాడు. ఓకేనా? సో 100% వాల్యూ ఎంత? P అంటే 100% కదా. సో మనం క్రిస్ క్రాస్ మెథడ్ చేస్తే మనకి 500 వస్తుంది. ఇంకో సమ్ కానీ చూస్తే కింద సేమ్ ప్రాబ్లమే. ఫైండ్ ద సమ్ ఇఫ్ SI ఫర్ 3 ఇయర్స్ అట్ ద రేట్ ఆఫ్ 7% per annum ఈజ్ 420 అన్నాడు. సో అంటే 3 ఇయర్స్ కంటే ఎంత? 7% + 7% + 7% అంటే 21%. 21% వాల్యూ ఎంత అన్నాడు? 420 అన్నాడు. 100% వాల్యూ ఎంత? క్రిస్ క్రాస్ చేస్తే మనకి 2000 వస్తుంది. సో మనం ఇక్కడ కనుక చూసినట్టయితే ప్రిన్సిపల్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్కి కాంపౌండ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్కి మనకి తేడా తెలియాలి. సో ప్రిన్సిపల్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఏంటంటే ప్రిన్సిపల్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఏంటంటే మనం ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఓన్లీ ప్రిన్సిపల్ మీద పడుతుంది. ఓకేనా, చూడండి ఇక్కడ కావాలంటే దీని మీద 10 పడింది, సెకండ్ ఇయర్ దీని మీద ఇంకో 10 పడింది, థర్డ్ ఇయర్ దీని మీద 10% పడింది, ఫోర్త్ ఇయర్ దీని మీద 10% పడింది. ఓకేనా, ఇక్కడ కాంపౌండ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ అలా కాదు. కాంపౌండ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ వచ్చి 100 మీద 10% పడుతుంది. సో 110 అయింది. సో ఇది కొత్త ప్రిన్సిపల్ అయిపోతుంది, ఇది మనం మర్చిపోతాం. ఓకేనా, దీని మీద మళ్ళీ 10% పడుతుంది, దీని మీద 10% 11 రూపీస్ 121, ఇది మర్చిపోతాం. దీని మీద మళ్ళీ ఇంకో 10% పడుతుంది, ఇది మళ్ళీ దీని మీద ఇంకో 10% పడుతుంది. ఓకేనా, అలా. సో ఎవ్రీ టైం మనకి న్యూ ప్రిన్సిపల్ అనేది వస్తుంది అనమాట, అదే తేడా. So if you observe like this, here the profit is 10%, like so principal into 110%, principal into 120%. Here what happens is that 100 into 110 by 100, principal into 10%. This will be the new principal, right? So this into 110%, so we'll get this, and again this into 110%, so we'll get this again. For the fourth year we'll get this into 110%, so we'll get this. So I hope that you understand it. If you observe the pattern for the compound interest, actually every time it becomes new principal. Every time, for every cycle and every iteration, the new principal will be there. This pattern we can observe in successive discounts. So P is equals to, let us take P is equals to 100 and D is equals to 10%. So for 100 rupees 10% discount is 90, and again this will be the new price, right? This will be the new price, and the 10% of this one is 81. Okay, so we get the formula. The single discount for the successive discount formula is x plus y plus xy by 100. So if you substitute 10 those values, we will get 19% as the single discount for two successive discounts. So same goes with the compound interest as well. Here what we take is CI is equals to x plus y plus xy by 100. So we got 20 plus 1, 21%. So for 2 years it is going to be 21%. Same, right? If you see here, 2 years it is going to be 21%. So for 3 years we got the previous value 21 plus 10 plus 21 into 10 by 100. So we'll get 33% of compound interest. Okay, if you observe this carefully, actually here we have given P is equals to 100 rupees and R is equals to 9 rupees. So for 100, for the first year, since rate is 9%, we will get 9 rupees, and second year we will get 118.81, and the third year we will get 129.5 rupees. So we can write this as 100 into 109 by 100%, right? We get this only, same percent. So for second year we get interest, we get the profit on this one. How much? 109%, this into 109 by 100, so we'll get this. So for the third year we'll get, this will be the new principal. Okay, we'll get interest and profit on this one. Okay, so into 109 by 100, so we'll get this one, 109 by 100. So if we write like this, we get power 1, power 2 and power 3. To observe the pattern, for 1 year it is going to be the 1, for 2 years it is going to be the 2, for 3 years it is going to be 3. So similarly, r is equals to 9 by 100, right? We, in the question it is given r is equals to 9 by 100. So we'll put a ratio for p and a. P and A. So P is 900. What will be the amount? The amount plus interest, right? 109. 109. So if we, since it is asked for 3 years, let us take, we'll calculate the amount for 3 years, okay? So 3 years we have 3, 10 power 3, right? So we cube it, 100 cube into 109 whole cube. So we'll get this. But we need interest for only 100 rupees, for only 100 rupees, not for 100 cube. So what do we do is divided by 100 square. So 103 whole cube by 100 square will be the amount. So that is exactly what we got here, 100 into 109 whole cube by 100 square. So cube and 100 will get cancelled here. So the difference between these two is going to be the compound interest. So what is it if someone says compound, the interest is compounded monthly or half yearly or quarterly? So what does that mean is that, let us say the compound interest is compounded for half yearly. That means for every 6 months we get a new cycle, the new principles change. Here what we have, what is this meaning of this one is that the compound interest is applied for 1 year, and then again after 1 year, and then again after 1 year. But if they say half yearly, the compound interest applied 2 times, therefore we will get new rate, new cycle. Okay, let us, we'll understand through this problem. So for p is equals to 100 and rate is equals to 12%, so the new rate will be, in the time he says the compound interest will be compounded 8 months. Okay, so I forgot to write here, t is equals to 2 years. So for 2 years, but it is compounded 8 months. So we need to get a new cycle. New cycle is equals to 24 months by 8. So in 2 years, the compound interest will be applied 3 times. Okay. So this is going to be the cycle 1, this is going to be cycle 2, and this is going to be cycle 3. So the new, we also need to find the new R. So 12% is for 12 months. What is the percentage for 8 months? It is going to be 8%. You can do crisscross or something like that. So 100 plus 8% is going to be 108 in the total amount, and 108 plus 108% is going to be 116, and again if we add 8% to this, we're going to get 125.9. So we have observed a lot of patterns in the compound interest, and there is also one pattern that which is very important. So we take the same problem. Let us take p is equals to 100 and r is equals to 10%. So we'll get for first year 110, second year 121, third year 133.1, fourth year 146.1. So the 2 years, the ratio of principal to the amount is 100 is to 121, right? So again for the 2 years, the ratio will be the same. The ratio will be the same. Here also 100 is to 121. If we consider this as 100, this also will be 121. So let us calculate the amount of, assume that we do not know this value, we'll calculate this one. So 100 is 121, then what will be the value of 121? So if we cross multiply and crisscross, we'll get 146.41, which is this value. So it doesn't matter the cycle is there for 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. So the ratio will be the same for the equal number of cycles. So here there are two cycles, 2 years and 2 years, right? So the ratio between these two and these two is going to be the same. If there is 3 years, the ratio between 3 years and 3 years is going to be the same. And also I forgot to mention that one more pattern we should observe is that this is the simple interest. For the first year, simple interest and compound interest are same, right? Simple interest and compound interest are same for the first year. So there is also one more pattern we need to observe is that the tree method and the golden ratio method. The tree method, it's not method, it's the uh, looking at the patterns of the compound interest. For the first year, let us take, we should calculate the interest. The interest is going to be the 10%, which is 10 rupees, right, for the first year. For the second year, what happens is that we'll get the interest on this one also, and also in this one, right? So if let me pull down this method, you will understand this. So this and this is 10%, this and this is also 10%. So what does that mean is that this plus this will get 10% on this, as well as 10% on 10 rupees. Okay, so we get 10 rupees, 10 rupees. Okay, so we get interest on this one, 10 rupees. Okay, so we'll get interest on this one, how much? Oh boy. So the compound interest and simple interest is that compound interest only applies the interest, sorry, simple interest only applies the interest on the principal. Okay, compound interest applies the interest on principal as well as the interest as well. So the first year interest is going to be 100 plus 10. Okay, 10% of this is 10. For the second year, we will also apply this, okay, plus 10%, and then this one as well, interest on interest plus 1, that is equals to 121. Okay, so that is the value of this one. So the compound interest applies interest on interest. Okay, so in the tree method, for the first year it applies on this one only on principal. For the second year it applies on the principal as well as on the interest. On the third year it applies on the principal as well as this interest as well as this interest, sorry, this interest and this interest. On fourth year it applies for this principal amount and this interest, this interest, this interest, and this interest, this interest, and so on. This is 0.01. This one also will be applied. So 10, 21. So the first year the interest is 10%. For the second year the interest is 21%. For the third year it is going to be 33.1%, and for the fourth year it is going to be 46.41%. So we'll extract something from this. Actually, if you see, this is nothing but SI. Okay, so what is SI means? Here you can see it applies only on the principal, right? For 4 years it is going to be 40 rupees, right? Here is also 4 years, it's going to be the 40 rupees. The entire thing is the extra for compound interest. So we also extract some patterns from this. If you see for 2 years, how many times we are applying interest on the principal? 2 times you are applying on the principal, right? Therefore 2. How many times we are applying interest on interest? 1 time. So 2:1. So for 3 years, how many times we are applying interest on principal? We are applying on 3 times. So 3. How many times we are applying interest on interest for 1 rupee? So there has to be one more 1 here, man. There has to be 1 here. Okay, so this and this. Okay, this is not going to work. So 3 times, 1, 2 and 3. For 4 years, and 0.1 we only have 1. Okay, so what does this mean is that for 2 years 10%, okay, 10% of this is 1. So 2 into 10 plus 1, 21. So 10% of 100 is 10. 10% of 10 is 1. 10% of 1 is 0.1. So that is equals to, so 30 plus 3 plus 0.1, that is equals to 33.1. 10% of principal is 10. 10% of this one is 1. 10% of 1 is 0.1. 10% of 0.1 is 0.01. So that is equals to 46.41. So here are some methods to follow. So there are 4 ways to solve any compound interest problem. One is discount method that I have said earlier, and the ratio method, and tree method, and golden ratio method. And these are the things that we should keep in mind. The ratio between the cycles is same. The first year compound interest and simple interest are same. So in the tree diagram, if you see, this is the simple interest and the rest is the extra applied for compound interest. The total is the compound interest, okay? The total is compound interest, and this one is simple interest, and this one is the extra part of the simple interest. So in simple terms, this is nothing but CI minus SI. In the golden ratio also, 3, so we apply 3 times, right? 3:1. Actually, one second. So this is y actually. So 3:3:1. This first part is simple interest and the second part is CI minus SI. The entire thing is